Good morning. This is the solution video of the question find equilibrium index of the given array. Now the first question that occurs in our mind is what is equilibrium index? Now suppose if I take an example like -7, 1, 5, 2, -4, 3 and 0. Now here I would say 2 is the equilibrium element and 3, that is the 2's position, is the equilibrium index. Why? Because the left sum of the 2 is equal to the right sum. What is the left sum? -7, 5 and 1, which is -1. And what is the right sum? It is -1. So in which position is 2? 0, 1, 2, 3. The 2 is in third position, so 3 will be my equilibrium index. I hope you understood the problem statement. So we will be given an array of elements, and we have to find the size of the elements, size of the array, and then we have to find the equilibrium index, whether it exists or not, and if it exists then show the equilibrium index, otherwise return -1. Now this is the understanding the problem statement. The second step is what will be the given parameters. So basically I am comfortable in Java, but if you understand the logic, if you understand the approach, you can code in any language you want to. You just have to change some syntax according to the language that you are using. So I am using a Java, and this solution that I am going to show is of O of n square time complexity. So it is a simple straightforward brute force approach which most coders don't prefer when they go for competitive coding or for the contest or for competitions, because everybody knows what's the solution in O of n square. So basically when it comes to industrial application, we basically see like we use the least amount of time and space complexity for any code. So since I'm doing it in Java, so I'll declare a method public static equi-index. I guess this is fine, this name. It's understood, like equi-index means equilibrium index, okay, whatever. So int will declare an array nums, pass an array nums, and where n nums will be the array contains the array element, and integer n is the size of the array. Okay, good. Now we'll start our solution. Okay, so this is O of n square solution. Now O of n square means there would be a for loop inside a for loop, or a while loop inside a while loop, like a loop inside a loop. So whenever there comes a loop inside a loop, this means it is of O of n square. If there are 3 nested loops, it is of O of n cube. If it is 4, then O of n 4. We don't go till that because we want our optimized code maximum O n log n or O of n, and at the worst case we go for O of n square. Okay, so what we will do is we will take 2 loops. One will be the outer loop and one will be the inner loop. Now the outer loop will iterate through all the elements, like it will check the first 0th element, then the first element, then the second element, then third to n minus 1 elements, because it starts from 0, so it will traverse till n minus 1. And then the inner loop will find whether the element picked by the outer loop is an index or not. Basically in inner loop we will find the left sum and the right sum, and then we will check if the left sum of that particular element is equal to the right sum of that particular element. But we will not take that element, like here 2 is the element where left sum is equal to the right sum, but we won't take 2 into consideration, because if we take 2, then which is the equilibrium index? So the index at which 2 is present will be our equilibrium index. So neglecting 2, we'll take this sum and this sum. So left sum will be equal to right sum. Okay, now let's just code it, and the outer loop will give us the location, like the equilibrium index. Okay, so we'll go till n and I plus plus. Now it is of O of n square, so we'll contain one more loop inside this. So before that we'll declare 2 variables which will contain the sum of the left. This contains sum of left, and one right sum. This contains sum of right. Okay, now we will take one loop like int j equal to 0, j is less than I, and j plus plus. Now this loop will iterate till I and will find the left sum. This is for left sum, and we will take one more loop for the right sum. Okay, and here it will be j equal to I plus 1 because it's a right sum, so it will go one element ahead. Don't get confused, I'll just explain how it is working. Now if we take this example, now I is at 0, so I is at minus 7, I is at 0 position, so array of 0 is minus 7. Now we will check if j equal to 0, j is less than I. Is j less than I? No. So we'll go into this loop. Now j equal to I plus 1, where will be j? Here. 1. Where is I? Here. So j will always iterate one element ahead of I. That is, j will always find the sum of the right elements. Now here is I, so left sum is almost 0, there is no sum, but here j I plus 1, so j here will start and will take the sum of all these elements. So what we will do is write sum equal to right sum plus nums of j. Okay, and here it would be left sum equal to left sum plus nums of j. Okay, now we have to check our condition is if left sum equal to right sum, then what do we have to return? We have to return I, because I is the position. We have to find the equilibrium position. If we had to find the equilibrium element, then we would have returned nums of I, but we have to find the equilibrium position, and hence we'll return I. But if after iterating till the end of the array, if we don't get any equilibrium position, we'll return minus 1. I hope you understand this, but I don't prefer this solution because this solution works at O of n square. As you can see, there is one loop inside other loop, and it is pretty easy, like everybody can just guess what will be the solution. I would prefer a solution of O of n. Okay, I love this type of solution. In O of n, it is a little bit of tricky, but it's really great. Like, it makes you think in a different way. Like, yeah, it basically makes you think how will it work. So if I take one more example, what should be the example? So chalo, one more example will be 1 7 3 6 5 6. Okay, now suppose this example. Now again I'll just copy paste it, not wasting much time. So I'll take this and paste and one more bracket. Okay, and this is our function. Now here what we will take, we'll initialize a variable total sum as 0. As the name suggests, this will take the total sum of all the elements. I'll just copy this also, and then total sum equal to total sum plus nums I. I'll explain this, what am I doing. You don't have to worry about it. Now if I explain this, and this is our element. Now what am I thinking is, what will be the total sum of these elements? 7 plus 3, 10, it will be 28. Okay, the total sum, sum equal to, what will be? It will be 28. Now if I take one more variable, suppose left sum, which contains the sum of the left elements of our, suppose it is 0. Now it contains the left sum. Now if left sum is 0, now suppose we iterate a loop and the loop is at position 0, and if we assign this, okay, now suppose the value of left sum is 1, and if we minus left sum from this total sum, won't we be getting the sum of the right array? like indirectly we will be getting the right sum. We don't have to do O of n square solution to get the right sum. That is, suppose the left sum value is 1, okay, and left sum value is 1. Now if I minus total sum minus left sum, won't I be getting the right sum? You think the value, this is 28 and left sum is 1. So 28 minus 1, 27. The sum of these elements is 27, right? So I am basically getting a right sum, but the condition here occurs is I have to consider a particular element and the left sum of that particular element and the right sum of that particular element should be same. Like here my element will be 6, which is at the equilibrium index 3. So the left side of 6 should be equal to right side of 6. But through this formula, we are just calculating the left sum and right sum. So to get the correct right sum, to get the correct left sum, I have to minus the current position where am I, and this will give me the left sum. I'll explain this once more. What will this give me? This will give me the right sum, okay. And if I'm subtracting the current element where I am currently right now, because I don't have to consider that element, because I am considering that element's index as my equilibrium index, and if I subtract that and if the right sum is equal to the left sum, then this is my equilibrium element and this I position is my equilibrium point. I'll explain this through code as well. Now I have declared a left sum. Now for int I equal to 0, I is lesser than n, I plus plus. Now inside this, keep in mind that I haven't used a for loop inside another for loop. So this solution is not in O of n square. Even though you use a for loop n times in a particular function, unless and until you don't use it in a nested way, it will be of O of n solution. Okay, just I have to clear this in your mind. Like you would say I have used 2 for loops here, so it should be of O of n square. Even if I use n times of for loops here, it would not be in O of n square unless and until I am using a for loop inside another for loop. Okay, understood? Okay, now if I is not equal to 0 will be my first condition, then I have to add left sum equal to left sum plus nums of I minus 1. I'll explain this, don't worry, don't get tense. I'll explain this. These are some of the conditions that we have to keep in mind while coding. Okay, this will be my total sum minus left sum minus nums of I. If it is equal to the left sum, then we got a value. Okay, else did I write? No. So if we didn't get any, then return minus 1. Now what does this mean? Now for here I equal to 0, I is lesser than n, I plus plus. Whether I is not equal to 0, no, it is equal to 0. So total sum minus left sum minus I is 0. Now what I will explain it through by taking the cases one by one. Okay, now for I equal to 0, what is our total sum? Our total sum is 28. Okay, what will be our left sum? Our left sum is 0. Okay, and what is our nums of 0? Nums of 0 is 1, because nums of 0 is 1, we are at the first position, right? So nums of 0 is 1. Now that if condition takes place. Now if total sum, okay, minus left sum minus nums of I, that is 0, if it is equal to left sum, is it equal? 28 minus 1, no, it is 27, no, it is not equal. Now I'll just copy it. Should be okay. Now for I equal to 1, total sum is 28. Now left sum will be, enter into the loop, if I is not equal to 0. Yes, I is not equal to 0, I is 1. So what will be the left sum? Left sum plus nums of I minus 1. Where is I now? I is at 7. What is nums of I minus 1? What is it? 1. So what is the value of left sum? 0 plus 1. Now the left sum's value will be 1. And nums 1 is what? It is 7. Okay. Now 28 minus 1 minus 7. Sorry, 17. Minus 7. Is it 0? Is it 1? No, it is 20. Now I will do it once more for I equal to 2. Total sum is 28. Left sum will be what? For I equal to 2, 1 plus 7. So it would be 8. Where did this 1 come? The previous value of left sum. Where does the 7 come? Because the current position of I is at 2 and what is at 1? 7, because we are taking plus I minus 1. That is one element before. Now what is at nums 2? 0, 1, 2. It is 3. Okay. So what it would be? Minus 8, minus 8, minus 3. Is it 28? Is it 8? No, it's not 8. Now we will take one more case. I equal to 3. Total sum is 28. What will be the left sum? 1 plus 7 plus 3. It would be 11. And what is nums of 3? It is 6. So is 28 minus 11 minus 6 equal to 11? Yes. Yes, it is. We got our answer. So at which position is this equal to this? That is, the left sum is equal to the right sum at position 3, and that's why we are returning I. If we were asked to return the element at that position, that is 6, then we would have returned nums of I like this. If we have asked the element, then we would have returned nums of I. But since we haven't asked the element, so we'll just return the index. So in this way, this is the most optimized form that I can think of, that is of O of n. If you have any other methods to do, you are free to do it in your own way. Just think loud and just open up your mind. There are other ways as well, I assure you. But if you don't get this video at once, watch it again. You will get it. It's not so difficult, and keep on practicing on various platforms such as HackerRank, Geeks for Geeks, LeetCode, and the interview bit. There are many. Just solve 2 to 3 or 4 questions, maximum of 5 daily, and it will be a really great practice for you. Arrays is a really important topic, and this question was asked in many of our placement papers. Even on the interviews that I have given, this question was asked 2-3 times, and different methods were also asked. So start from this brute force method, O of n square, and then optimize the solution to O of n. Thank you. This is all this question is. Don't worry if you didn't get it. Watch it again. You'll definitely know how the solution comes. Thank you.